Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of the Foolish Fish Esoteric News with your weekly updates on the worlds of esoteric and occult book publishing and arts and events and paraphernalia. And thank you once again to miskatonicbooks.com for sponsoring the show. Miskatonicbooks.com are just eternally and forever the best resource for getting your esoteric and occult books, the difficult to find books, the beautiful books, the artisanally crafted books, those books that are just so rare and so desirable and that form the backbone of the Foolish Fish channel. So yes, it makes absolute sense that Miskatonic Books would be the chosen sponsor for the show. And I really do appreciate their support. I'm just scrolling through their front page over here, and you're probably spotting some things that you fancy already. You'll notice also that it's not just books that they do. They also do courses, and they have their own imprint. They regularly publish their own books, and so I do strongly recommend going to check out miskatonicbooks.com using the links down below. All right, let's start, folks. This week there is so much good stuff, and we're starting with the thing that just made me so excited. I regularly talk about Le Pater and how it is among the most beautiful books on my shelf and among the most prized. And it's been out of print in a hardcover edition for a little while now. And so it's with great joy that I can announce to you that a new printing using all of the updates from the paperback edition, right, which got a whole reworking in the text, lots of updates in little details that came to light after the hardcover was published, after that first edition was published. And so, so this new edition has got all of those updates from the paperback edition incorporated. Yes, so the text from the paperback is the best. The format from that beautiful oversized hardcover, there's nothing to compare it with. And this edition appears to combine the two. But it's not just that, folks. There is a deluxe edition with a slipcase. I want it so badly. It's not cheap, okay? It's not cheap, but this regular standard edition, worth every penny. I'm surprised that they managed to keep the price just as low as it is. It's $129, which is about the price that the first edition was several years ago. Has it been 5 or 6 years now since the original edition of Le Pater? So just to give you an idea, if you don't know about Le Pater, right? So naturally, I'll invite you to go and check out my review, which is linked in the project, by the way. You'll be able to find it a little bit lower down. Le Pater was Alphonse Mucha's take on the Our Father, right? So Pater Noster, Our Father, in its French rendition is just as a shortcut. It becomes Le Pater, the Pater as in the Pater Noster. And what he did is that with every line of the Our Father, he made a separate page and drew out esoteric understandings about it in the form of glorious illustrations. If you like Alphonse Mucha, you're going to love this anyway, but you're also going to find a slightly different side to his art. The very well-known illustrations for advertisements, Parisian advertisements, are of course his trademark. But yeah, these illustrations from within this particular work, which is a late work, of course, Just glorious, absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, I mean, you can see all the people who have recommended the work over here, and there is me right there. And there's my review, or should I say overview, of the original first edition. Yeah, which to this day is really among the top 3 most beautiful books on my shelves. Gorgeous, gorgeous work. But yeah, I mean, it's that slipcover edition that's calling me and suggesting that maybe I don't need to eat. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, it's oh, look at that. Yeah, end papers. This Solander case. It's lovely, it's beautiful, and I want it, but yeah, it's just a little bit too much. I'll show you. So it's down here. Yeah, there we go. The superior contents of the deluxe hardcover edition, bound in a special fabric cover with gilt lettering and a limited edition archival high-resolution facsimile of the final artwork titled Amen, all contained in an archival fabric clamshell box designed to dramatically recreate the experience of the original 1899 presentation. Limited edition, signed and numbered by author Thomas Negovan. One can dream. Okay. All right, folks, let's move on to news from Hadean Press. Claves Intelligentiarum is getting a new print, and this is fantastic news because this is one of the best books about the grimoire tradition. It's one of the best summaries of grimoire work, Solomonic grimoire work that has come out in recent history. It's just fantastic. And I, again, recommend checking out my review of Claves Intelligentiarum. And, you know, Hadean Press don't do very many reprints in hardcover. Normally they do a run and then they do paperbacks. But in this case, there's been such a demand for just more hardcovers from people who've bought the paperback and have realized the significance and importance of this particular work. And they've decided that, yes, sure, okay, they're going to do another print run. So run, folks. Head to the description down below and find the link to Claves Intelligentiarum if you don't have it already, and pick that up as soon as you can before this second print run, which is going to be limited to 500 more copies, runs out. Okay. This is really, really good news. And then there's another bit of news from Hadean Press, which is that the soft cover edition of The Black Raven is now available to purchase. And the hardcover has had this this mock-up rendering of what it's actually going to look like. So yeah, that's pretty exciting as well. Hadean Press have said, yeah, obviously the mock-up can't really do justice to how it'll finally look. But yeah, please allow 2 to 3 months before shipping for the hardcover right there. Very, very exciting stuff. Okay, news also from Anathema Publishing, who have let us know that books are exempt from the crazy tariffs, right? So because the Trump tariffs were imposed under IEEPA, informational materials, which includes books, are exempt. So there will be no additional tariffs on books sourced from any country other than those which already existed. The tariffs that already existed, of course. Moreover, as of the current date, goods from Canada that are compliant with the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement are not currently subject to the new reciprocal tariffs. As such, paper that is wholly grown, produced, or manufactured in Canada, Mexico, or the US is USMCA compliant and not subject to new reciprocal tariffs. So this means that Anathema will be able to offer more and more book titles in the very near future at excellent prices with equally excellent shipping rates and customer services. What a relief for many other publishers as well, I can imagine. Okay. Probably doesn't help book publishers from outside of this particular agreement, right? The United States, Mexico, Canada agreement, who are sourcing their paper elsewhere. I don't really know how that's going to work, but for Anathema Publishing and many in the same region at least, that is excellent news. News from Troy Books: the School of Black Art has been announced. School of Black Art: Witchcraft Detected and Prevented. It seems to be a subtitle to the book by a member of the School of Black Art from Italy, 1824. So this seems to be one of the directions that Troy Books is really focusing in right now, picking up traditional magic books that have been published and not necessarily republished in quite a long time, and bringing these books back into circulation, which I think could be potentially interesting. First published in 1824, Witchcraft Detected and Prevented, or The School of Black Art Newly Opened, opens a window into the dark and often bewildering world of early modern magic, superstition, and the so-called black art. This curious and provocative volume draws heavily on ancient and scarce works, including Reginald Scott's legendary Discovery of Witchcraft, and was once believed to expose the hidden workings of witches, magicians, and arcane schools in Europe. Compiled by an anonymous member of the mysterious School of Black Art in Italy, the book offers spells, charms, medicinal receipts, maybe recipes, and philosophical musings, alongside vivid descriptions of magical garments, tools, and rites. Simultaneously a source of morbid fascination and stern moral warning, it reflects both the credulity and anxiety of a society wrestling with the unknown. So yes, I think that if you're interested in Reginald Scott's work, this could be an interesting side quest, I don't know, companion work for sure, and it's available in various editions, paperback edition and a special edition. It seems like the special edition is the one that is currently available for £26. All right, let's move on. yeah. So, when I told you that there's some good stuff happening this week, the way I think that Promethea is one of the best ways to introduce anyone to ceremonial magic. Promethea is a fantastic a graphic novel in 3 volumes by Alan Moore, one of the masters, if not the master, of graphic novels, the author of The Watchmen and very recently, of course, the Moon and Serpent bumper book of magic, which isn't exactly a graphic novel, but another fantastic introduction to ceremonial magic. Well, until recently, the first couple of volumes of the Absolute Promethea have been out of print. And you could get the 3rd volume at a crazy high price, but they're doing a new edition. They're doing a new printing. I've watched somebody on YouTube showing them both side by side, the original and this 2025 edition. This new one seems to be a little bit darker in terms of the cover, right? Just a little bit darker, but it's pretty much exactly the same. The gold also is a tiny bit more on the bronze side than the original, which was kind of a I don't know, maybe a cheap-looking, slightly garish gold. I'm just showing you the actual cover, but the This comes in a slip case, and it's much larger than the deluxe edition that I've been recommending so far as the best and cheapest way of procuring Promethea in 3 volumes. For the moment, it's just book 1 that has been republished. Naturally, we can expect book 2 and then book 3 soon, right? Could be anything between 4 and 6 months in between volumes being released, but this is really so exciting. Because it's my #1 favorite graphic novel of all time, being able to get it finally as an absolute edition is extremely exciting for me. I'll leave links. There'll be Amazon associate links, right? So I'll get a small commission if you decide to access Amazon through those links. It won't change the price for you. It'll just give me a little a small commission. But I'll leave links both to the Absolute Promethea Book 1, which we're looking at right now, but I'll also link the deluxe editions, which are significantly cheaper, a little bit smaller, right? But still hardcover with a dust cover rather than a beautiful slipcase. Okay. Yes, very exciting. Okay, and then talk about exciting. Folks, Peter J. Carroll has a new book coming out very soon, June 2nd. So we've got just a little over a month to wait here, called This is Chaos. So Peter J. Carroll, if you don't know him, is the one of the founders of chaos magic. He's the author of Psychonaut and Liber Null, which are 2 central books to chaos magic. They're not necessarily always the books that I recommend to people reaching out to me saying, hey, I don't know anything about magic. It seems to me like chaos magic could be something cool. Can you recommend anything to me? I don't normally recommend Liber Null and Psychonaut because those tend to be books that were directed at people who were already practicing magic, maybe through lodges, okay, through ceremonial magic groups like the Golden Dawn, like the OTO and the AA and others, Boto and so on. So those books were to say, hey, that stuff that you know, let me give you a different view on what you're actually doing and how you could do it better, right? So it's not really great for absolute beginners. This is Chaos, looks very, very interesting to me. It's going to have collaborations. So Aidan Wachter is involved, Carla Abrahamson, Dave Lee, Ivy Corvus, Jack D. Hawkins, Jacob Sipes, Josepha Carica, Julian Vane, yes, love Julian's work, Lionel Snell, Mariana Pinzon, Sanrei Dafout, and Shinobu Kurono. These are all collaborating on this work, and it's looking into chaos magic meeting witchcraft, egregores, virtual reality and cyber magic, animist sorcery, the power of personal mythology and quantum chaos, tarot and chaos magic and neuro-hacking, and esoteric Buddhism, and the 8 chaos gods. So we're really looking at the future of magic, right? So 15 essays on chaos magic for modern practitioners embracing the future of magic. Looks very exciting indeed, and that is Wiser Books putting this out. Okay, good stuff, and I'll keep you updated on that as we get a little closer to the release date. Although pre-orders are already available, as you can see. Good, and then we've got a new edition of the Voynich Manuscript. If you do a search for Voynich Manuscript, you'll find lots and lots of options, including one headed by Dr. Stephen Skinner. But today we have a new edition being released in a beautiful hardcover edition. Again, not the cheapest thing in the world, but we're getting a new take on it. I was a little bit disappointed in this description of the book, and so I just clicked on the back over here. So let's have a read from the actual back of the book. What if the world's most mysterious book isn't a mystery at all? After 6 centuries of speculation, the cipher and the compendium presents groundbreaking evidence that this text is not a hoax, but a fully functional 15th century medical manuscript rooted in Sawa Rigpa, Tibetan medicine, medieval Latin, and botanical science. This book unveils the manuscript's true purpose, a complete astrobotanical healing system based on oils, herbs, electuaries, and celestial timing. Authored by a Swiss-German monk who travelled abroad, the manuscript records sacred labour, healing stars, and plant medicines from beyond Europe. This work is the first to fully decipher its language and structure, finally reclaiming a lost system of healing buried beneath layers of secrecy, stigma, and suppression. Okay, so one thing that I notice, and you may have noticed it as well, is the punctuation, the strange punctuation here, celestial timing, full stop, authored by a Swiss-German monk who travelled abroad, full stop. Seems like strange punctuation, and I hope that more care has been put into the editing of this on the inside. But mistakes get made, right? I mean, that's fair enough. And maybe it wasn't a mistake, maybe it was a conscious choice. Nevertheless, I think that if we take a quick look at dimensions here, we've got 8 inches by 11 inches. So yeah, quite a nice, substantial size. I think this could be a nice introduction to the Voynich manuscript from a particular perspective. Okay, good. Subtle Body Press are looking for submissions for their 7-Story Hotel issue 3. So 7-Story Hotel is a web-based zine, I guess, and they're looking for works that are centered around, loosely centered around the 3rd chakra, the yellow chakra, Manipura. There we go, with correspondences with Tippereth. They are looking for all kinds of submissions, whether it's, well, mostly they're looking for non-fiction, right? For scholarly, investigations. They are open to stories and poems and artwork, but they're mostly looking for academic articles, and also potentially digital art. So digital art, digital experiences, that kind of stuff. If that speaks to you, then they are offering $45, I believe, for every successful article that will be submitted, that will actually be printed, excuse me. And you will also get a free copy. And it just generally looks like an interesting endeavor. I wasn't aware of Subtle Body Press or of the 7-Story Hotel, but it kind of looks quite interesting. It's highly advised that you check out our recent issue, and of course you can click over here and get an idea of what that actually looks like. Interesting. Okay, all right. Sphere and Sundry have got a new series out called Dit Da Jow, and its subtitle is, or should I say, its nickname is the Forge Master's Iron Palm. This is recommended for people who practice martial arts, for instance, for strengthening the self. I like the way they've positioned these very martial materia on weights from dumbbells, right? It's very, very much about strengthening the body, repairing the body, and becoming hard as nails, basically. Defensive and offensive purposes. Limb training methods, strengthening the skin, muscles, tendons, ligaments, bones. So if you're in competitive sports, this is going to be really good for you. If you're into bodybuilding in any way, this is going to be great for you. If you're into, as I was saying, martial arts, this is going to be really cool as well. And you can expect this usual quality from Sphere and Sundry. Everything they do has got so much attention to detail brought to it. Every single, Austin Kopok is like the master in terms of electional astrology, and he's been mostly in charge of this particular offering, right? And Caitlin has taken a more of a backseat since the birth of her baby, naturally, and that's obviously a very good thing. So, but nevertheless, she's bringing her knowledge to the whole process and bringing her own skills in new ways. So yeah, we're getting some very training hard vibes from this particular offering, and I think it's quite an exciting one for many people watching. There we go. So yeah, just scroll along, and you'll find all the items that are available. This particular one is sold out, but yeah, I'll let you explore. Okay, links down below, of course. Good. And then this is happening in Vilnius, folks, in Lithuania. It's the 10th Biennial Conference of the European Society for the Study of Western Esotericism and Rationality. So this is happening on June 26th to 28th of 2025. It's so rare to have something like this happening in Eastern Europe. I think it's really, really exciting. I'm considering it. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to be around at that time, June 26th to 28th, but I do recommend having a look at what's being offered over there. It seems to be running over 3 or 4 days. In fact, you can click over there to open the program, and you'll be able to see. Yeah, sure. So actually, yes, on. It does start on Wednesday, 25th, but Thursday, 26th, I guess, is when the content really gets started. And then Friday, 27th, The Other of Reason, Esotericism, Rationality and Gender in Modernity by Manon Heidenberg White, European Society for supposedly based commemorative lecture, meetings. And then more over here, Rationality and Taoist internal alchemy, excuse me, and others. So again, I'll let you discover all of that in your own time. Here are the 3 main keynote speakers. Whose topics all look really exciting, to be fair. Yeah, very, very cool indeed. Anyway, I'm just excited to have a conference happening in Eastern Europe near me. So that's nice. And then finally, my board game of the week is Valley of the Kings. Ultimate Edition. This is an old game, okay? This is a game that came out at a similar time as Dominion, and it's kind of along the same lines. It's a deck building game, so it's all cards, and you are building the best hand possible out of the cards that are coming out on the table, and deciding, you know, okay, this card will really enhance this other card that I've already got in my hand. Oh, but that card over there, I need that, but I've got too many cards in my hand already. What can I get rid of? Okay, so that's kind of the feel for the game. And it's had several editions already, and there's the Ultimate Edition being shown on the screen over here, which I believe has already had a print. But then there's this, and let me just show it to you in a second. Here it is. Yeah. There's this, the deluxe box, and that kind of calls out to me. You know, of course, it naturally calls out to me. And inside of that box are these various containers for these tarot-sized playing cards, and it just looks so beautiful. It just looks so nice. I'm all for a beautiful deluxeified gimmick. I don't care. It just works on me. So I know that the game is a great game. It's been very successful over many years. You can check out all of those reviews. Some of them quite old reviews now. But yes, so you can check all of that out on Backer Kit. Right, so. Aside from Kickstarter and GameFound, Backer Kit is another one of those crowdfunding websites. So you can go ahead and back it over there. Links to that down below. Everyone, I just want to thank you so much for watching until the end, and for your comments, your kind comments. Yeah, it's a new situation and new conditions, but it's still the same content, and yeah, just thank you so much for all the support that you guys have been sending my way. And yeah, speaking of support, let's segue there. If you'd like to support the channel a little bit more consistently, then the best way to do that is to join the Patreon, which gives you access to the Foolish Fish Discord. And if you'd like to have a one-to-one conversation with me, just a video conversation, then the links to do all of that can be found down below, and we can talk about your spiritual path, your spiritual growth, what books I can recommend for you for your particular circumstances, depending on what's happened to you in your past, and how you feel about various religions and various approaches to magic, and if you're just getting started, or if you've actually been doing stuff for a long time and feeling a little bit stuck maybe. All of that. We can do a tarot read and find out exactly where you're up to in your life right now, and find out what would be best for you to take some tangible steps towards improving your whole magical thing. Okay, so that's it, folks. That's it from me for today. Thank you again so much for everyone for leaving your thumbs up, clicking the like button and subscribing and doing all those wonderful things you guys do so kindly to keep this channel running smoothly, and for helping to expand the scope of the channel as well, so that more and more people can see this beautiful stuff. Take care of yourselves, folks. Take care of each other. I'll see you soon with another video. Bye-bye.